Welcome ladies and gentlemen. My name is dr.J and this is the second episode of my series How to Complete Hollow Knight. Last time we entered the first area of the game, the Forgotten Crossroads, and even managed to defeat 2 bosses. Not only that, but we also saved a few grubs and got to meet several of the bugs that still retain their sanity. Let's see what will happen next. Grab the bench and talk a bit with the snail shaman, who offered to teach you the first spell in the game, the Vengeful Spirit. It's basically like Ryu's Hadouken from Street Fighter. Again, spell costs soul, so you have to choose between using them and healing yourself. After waking up, we find ourselves trapped until we kill a nasty critter that is bothering the shaman. There are a couple more mounts similar to this one, where you receive upgraded versions of the spells you collect in your journey. This one, however, is the home of the only living snail shaman that still exists in Hallownest. After finishing the conversation, it's time to find this beast. The first enemy you'll find here is the boulder. They attack by curling up and rolling towards you. You can either jump over it and poke it, standing your ground and continuously attacking it, since they'll get knocked back after each of your attacks, or even trying out your new spell. After that, it's simply a matter of some platforming and continuing towards the beast. Get some souls from the statue if you need to. And as always, smash those geostones. You can also get the blue liquid for the extra masks. Now let's break those wooden planks and see what that beast is. It turns out it's an elder boulder. The gimmick with this enemy is that if you get close to him, he curls up and becomes invincible. So the only way to damage him is by using your brand new spell. However, the soul you have currently will not be enough. If you're away from him, he'll start attacking by spewing corrosive liquid or boulders. What you need are the boulders, since they'll help you replenish your souls. After killing him, go further left and grab the Soul Catcher charm. It is one of my favorite charms. What it does is it increases the amount of soul you gain from each hit. Combined with the Soul Eater, it's an insane increase in generated souls. It's also obviously very useful for all spellcaster builds by using the Shaman Stone and Spell Twister. Apart from that, using the Quick Slash is also very effective in maximizing its potential. Okay, so now let's go visit the grub father and give him a chance to show his gratitude for saving his grubs. This opens the shortcut next to where Cornifer was. So this is the exits to Green Path, where we'll go in a few minutes. Okay, let's try this again. I imagine these platforms were part of some kind of freight elevator system used to transport wares between the regions of Hallownest. Though obviously, like most of the contraptions that still remain, it no longer works. And here is the grub father. He'll give you certain rewards depending on the amount of grubs you save. Right now he will only give you Geo, which is helpful since we'll be spending most of it in a bit. Now let's go back to Dirtmouth and visit Zelda. While I understand why the developers did not include a teleportation system of some kind until much farther in the game at least, I wonder if that doesn't hurt the pace of the game somewhat. Especially in the beginning, when you don't really have any movement abilities. Talk for a while with Zelda and listen to her complain about her husband. The important things to buy here are the Wayward Compass Charm that shows you your position on the map, the quilt that allows you to update the map with the new rooms you visited. Also, you should buy as many map pins as you can afford. They are not critical, but will help you navigate the map. Both Cornifer and Iselda are not originally from Hallownest, which is why they were spared the corruption of the kingdom. While complaining a lot about him, Iselda very much cares about her husband. This is clearly shown by the care she takes to manage the shop, even though she personally has no interest in doing so. Let's just go for a quick rest on the bench so the map can be updated and the new charm equipped. And next, we're off to Green Path. Say hello to our not so old friend, the Elder Baldur. It's basically the same fight as the one in the Ancestral Mound. Again, beware of the acid pool as we still can't swim in it. This is the volatile Mothskin. His only attack is the release of Cloud of Infection. Just don't get caught in the blast zone and wait for it to dissipate and you'll be fine. Also, a few seconds after he dies, his corp releases a cloud as well. The regular Mothskin on the other hand is just the green pad version of the Wandering Husk. And this is what happens when you take a bath in the acid. The moss creep camouflages himself as a bush and waits for you to come near it before attacking you. There is an audio cue before he attacks, so if you pay attention, he shouldn't be able to surprise you. Let's quickly grab this bench before continuing. Here we have our first glimpse of Hornet. We'll be seeing a lot more of her in the future. Usually when you cut those vines that hold the boulders, you can create a path, shortcut, or even use them to kill the enemies underneath. While traveling to Cornifer, keep in mind that actually finding him in the respective areas is completely optional. Even if you miss him, you can still buy his maps from Zelda. Also, even buying his maps is optional, as you can use one of the external maps, like the interactive Hollow Knight map for example, in order to navigate through the game. However, you will get an achievement if you buy all the maps. And we found Cornifer. Let's go get his map of Green Path and hear his impressions of the place. Now we're going to meet the hunter in order to get his journal that describes the various beasts of Hallownest. The hunter's journal is also completely optional, though apart from just being a very fun item, it's also required for 2 achievements. Easy there, big boy. Yes, I do feel the urge. Great, now that we have the Pokédex, it's time to go save another grub. That's grub number 5 saved. Let's keep going to left for now. Hey Hornet, what's the rush? The fat flying bugs are called obos. They spew acid in an X-shaped pattern. Alone, they're very easy to dodge, but you've got a few in the area, it almost turns into a bullet hell game. The plant that almost ate me is the Foo Eater. Hence why he didn't eat me, since I'm no fool. You can kill them, by the way, if you attack them after they close their jaws. And this is the Moss Charger. He attacks by charging at you, and then camouflaging for a bit. The best strategy is to wait for him to get to you, slash at him to stop his charge, and follow that up with a Vengeful Spirit. Like I said, you have to pay attention with the Moss Creepers. It's almost as if Hornet is leading us somewhere. Now that we can't go left anymore, let's start climbing. You can pay 50 Gil to open the bench. You'd have to do it in order to progress anyway. That was terrible. The Green Path region was not technically part of the Hallownest kingdom. While the Moskin tribe that inhabited and still inhabits this region allowed the Pale Kings to build roads crossing it, they only recognized the authority of Un, their god and creator. Unfortunately, they could not escape the infection, and some of them even forsook their faith in Un and started worshipping another deity. And we're almost at our next mini-boss fight, the Moss Knight. The issue with him is the shield. As per usual with shielded enemies, I like to just poke jump them to death, but the easiest way to deal with them is to spam Vengeful Spirits and finish them with nail slashes when they're vulnerable after swinging their nail. Keep in mind that they can swing once or twice, so be careful. And now we have the opportunity to go and save the most powerful and beautiful hero in all of Hallownest's history. The Vengefly King has only one attack, a U-shaped swipe that's relatively easy to dodge, and you can even squeeze a pogo jump on him during it. The other thing he can do is summon Vengeflies, which you better prioritize. The Vengefly King is one of the few bosses you could fight a second time during the normal game. Not as a dream boss or in God Home, but actually in the real, so to speak, world. I am referring to the Vengefly King you fight during the Trial of the Warrior in the Colosseum of Fools. Now let's meet the great and mighty Zod. After we profusely apologize to him for bothering him, let's go save another grub. By the way, you can decide not to save Zod and you'll get an achievement for it. You also miss a few boss fights with him, so for a first playthrough I highly recommend you save him. A bit more war text. Our next grub is guarded by a Moss Knight. Same tactic as the previous fight. And that's grub number 6. Okay, so now let's head for the Green Path Stack Station. After we are done here, we'll go back upstairs and continue going left. We are finally close to catching up with HORNET. Well, she doesn't seem to like us very much. No worries, I'm sure we'll be able to change her mind. HORNET has basically 3 attacks. A charge that can be performed both on the ground and in the air, an AoE attack, and throwing and retrieving her nail, similarly to Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. The charges and the throw simply have to be jumped over. Her AoE attack I found to be very annoying as there's little warning on when she's about to do it, and the area of effect is significant. My advice is to try not to jump too much like I did, and wait for her attacks using every opportunity to punish her. Only heal when she's stunned, as doing so otherwise leaves you very vulnerable. As you can see. Okay, so this is a good opportunity to talk about death mechanics. What happens is you return to the last bench you've sit on and lose all your geo as well as 1/3 of your soul capacity. Near the place you died, a shade remains. The shade is aggressive towards you and you have to kill it before retrieving your geo and restoring your soul capacity. Similarly to the Souls games, if you die again before killing your shade, you lose all your geo for good. Also, I forgot to pick up a Wanderer's Journal, so let's go do that. It's behind this breakable wall. And it's also guarded by a Fool Eater. I'm really making a fool out of myself. Okay, so let's try this again. While she doesn't get all that much screen time, HORNET plays a major role in the events occurring during the game. The ending you choose will also have an impact on her fate as well. I find it somewhat amusing that throughout the game you get a much better understanding on her past than that of the knight who's supposed to be the protagonist. Okay, much better this time. The Mothwing cloak will significantly speed up the exploration and will also open up quite a few places. It's a forward dash that can be used both on the ground and in the air. If you're using it in the air, you can only do it once, unless you refresh it by using a spell or attacking something. Yeah, I'm going to let you sleep. Look at the time. Hey guys! Well, we've certainly faced a lot of new mysteries in this episode. Who was HORNET and why did she attack us? Who are those three spectral figures and what are those seals they believe we want to break? And most importantly, when will we meet the glorious Master Zod again? To find the answers to those and other questions, don't miss the next episode. If you've enjoyed it, please press the like button, and if you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you. This will really help me to provide better content for you guys. Hope to see you again next time, and until then, have a good one.